Hey, how y'all doing? Nick the Smoker here, coming out with another cigarette review today. This one is going to be Marlboro Reds from Poland, and a big thank you to my friend Damian for bringing these back for me. Appreciate it, brother, man. On another note, Happy New Year. This is the first video of the new year. I was under the weather for a little bit, but now we're coming back and feeling better, so Happy New Year to each and every one of you. But yeah, Marlboro Reds. So one of the most, perhaps one of the most iconic cigarette brands in the world, as well as one of the most iconic varieties, as by that little red ribbon right there with the red and the white. Pretty much a lot of people see that and know exactly what it is. It's a Marlboro behind one of the most successful advertising campaigns of all time. So I did reviews on Reds a while ago. I still think the ones that we have here in the United States are the best, but a lot of Europeans say that their Marlboro Reds are really good too. But yeah, taking a look at this packaging. So recently Poland put all these little graphic warning labels and stuff on there. There's no more tar and nicotine on the packs now. It's all just kind of these graphic pictures, new EU standards and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, but you got Marlboro right there. Marlboro did redesign their packs in Europe's market several years ago. Marlboro is pretty much almost transparent now. You can kind of see it there on the packaging if I move it in the light a little bit. And they also have a firm filter design, which is different. A lot of smokers complain that that might have changed the design, but these are what Marlboro Reds are in Europe now. And then take a look at the back of the pack. You have the same thing, another graphic warning label, except you have the Polish tax stamp right at the top corner of that pack right there. Yeah, so yeah, without further ado, let's crack it open. There's 20 cigarettes in this pack. And then yeah, it's over, that tax stamp's over the lining of the cigarette pack that opens right there, and it just kind of is perforated with it. Cool looking inside of the pack there. You have firm filter written right there, and then you have Marlboro on a white foil on there. It looks kind of very nice. And it's got a very distinct flavor already just coming out of the pack. Alright. So these look a little bit different than what I thought compared to some of the European ones. So taking a look at it, you have a really cool cork style filter, but you have Marlboro written all the way around it in that kind of a transparent kind of a font, if you will. You have a gold band at the bottom of the filter there, and then you have the Marlboro Red ribbon right there on a little piece of paper that comes over the actual cigarette paper. These are fresh, which are very, very good. Taking a look at that tobacco in the cigarette there, it is on the medium to bright side. Perforations on the filter, one line of perforations in the middle of the filter, and there's a lot of them. The filter is now, so they say firm filter technology now. It is a firm filter, definitely, by just feeling it as well. But it's got one line of perforation, so that might affect the draw a little bit. Smelling that cigarette, it's got a kind of a classic-esque, that Marlboro, kind of a rich tobacco kind of aroma coming off of here. And I'm going to see if I can just pack this down a little bit. I didn't pack them. I'm just doing a little, and I packed the cigarette a little bit, as you can see right there. I'm not packing it too much. But yeah, it's got a very nice aroma coming off of there. Very rich kind of a tobacco. But yeah, without further ado, let's give the Marlboro Red from Poland a light. If I'm not mistaken, the tar and nicotine of these European Marlboro Reds is, I think it's 10 milligrams of tar and 1.0 milligram of nicotine, which is max to the EU limits. But I've also seen ones that have nicotine as low as 0.8. And these are manufactured, by the way, Philip Morris Polska, so Philip Morris Poland. So a lot of people say that the Switzerland Marlboros are the best, but these are Polish ones, so. And Krakow, I believe, so. Krakow. As you can see, a very decent body coming off of this cigarette. I would expect that from something like a Marlboro Red or a nice full flavored cigarette. But yeah, very, very good body. Nice dense smoke coming off here like a Marlboro Red should be. All right, so first impressions of the cigarette. It's a Marlboro Red, but perhaps there are some differences from this Marlboro Red, this European, this Polish one, from the United States ones. And I think it has something to do with the filter design, definitely. The filters on Marlboro Reds here in the United States, they're on there, but they allow so much smoke and a lot of flavor to come through. This one is a little bit more firmer and does have more perforation, so it is airing out a little bit, but I think it does cut down on the actual flavor of the cigarette. And you can notice it if you smoke a United States Marlboro Red and you smoke a European Marlboro Red. The difference, you can be able to tell it. Some people say they can't tell. Some people say European cigarettes are better. There are European cigarettes that are good, but in my case, from what I can tell right now, is that United States Marlboro Reds are good. But this one is still very good. And it does have that nice characteristic kind of a Marlboro flavor. For lack of a better term, kind of got that car exhaust kind of a flavor to it a little bit. Or some kind of just this exhausty kind of a flavor. But it's a nice rich tobacco, and it's nice and strong. It's not really bold. I mean, it's got its boldness to it, but it's more rich than anything. And that's something that it depends on what kind of cigarette you're smoking. In the United States, we have Marlboro Blacks, which are known for their bold flavor, and they're very bold, kind of more plainer tasting Marlboros because they are cheaper and they're not that good. But these are good old Reds. You really can't go wrong with them. Blowing out my nostrils too, I'm getting that same flavor. But like I said, perhaps this cigarette, the flavor is toned back a notch compared to what the United States ones are. And that's kind of unfortunate in its own sense, but it's still a nice Marlboro Red. It's still a nice cigarette. And it's cool that they have all these different factories and stuff like that in Europe, and you can really tell how the quality is between these factories because it does change. And assuming that these are, they do say Philip Morris Polska, but I'd wonder if there actually is a factory in Poland. There probably is. I know a lot of cigarette factories in Europe and stuff have been closing as of recently, especially in the UK. But I'm gonna go in and jump some ratings on this cigarette now before I ramble on a little bit too much. Do the body on here again. As you can see, a nice dense smoke, a nice body. There is a decent amount of smoke coming out of this filter, even with this firm filter and those perforations. It's a nice full flavor cigarette, and that's what I'm expecting to get off of something, especially like a Marlboro Red. Flavor, taste, aroma. A nice characteristic. Anyone who smoked a Marlboro Red before, or smoked Marlboros, you know they kind of got that distinctive Marlboro taste to them. I call the Marlboro Reds a little bit more of a kind of this car exhaust kind of a flavor, and you know, it's kind of messed up in a good sense because there's not really any cigarettes that come that close to what a Marlboro Red has in terms of its flavor. But a nice rich tobacco, a nice kind of, this one, I think that the European ones, I do have to give them this, is that they are a tad cleaner than what the United States ones I think are in terms of the flavor. But that's what kind of gives United States Marlboros that reputation, Marlboros in general. It's that nice kind of a kick you in your ass kind of a cigarette. Nice, real nice flavor and stuff. I think these European ones are a little bit scaled back in terms of flavor, but still very good nonetheless. Yeah, and I can just tell that the flavor is it is, like I said before, it's toned back a notch from what the Marlboro Reds in the United States are, but it's still pretty good. So what would I have to rate the Polish Marlboro Reds? This cigarette I'm probably gonna have to give. I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 out of 10. It's very good. I think that the flavor could be a little bit better. A lot of smokers of Marlboro Reds, before they put this firm filter on in European countries and overseas, they said that Marlboro Reds are way better. I would probably have to agree with them, even though I wasn't smoking Marlboro Reds before they had that from Europe. I have a feeling that this firm filter does affect the flavor to an extent that you can actually tell a lot. And I don't know why they put that firm filter on there, to be honest with you. I think perhaps it might have messed with the flavor big time on there. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Would I smoke these again? Definitely it's a Marlboro Red. I would smoke the U.S. ones though. I really like United States Marlboro Reds. I think they're the best, best red in the world. But yeah, there you have it, guys. That's my review of Marlboro Reds from Poland. And I thank you all so much again for tuning in. And I want to thank my friend Damian again for bringing these back for me, brother, man. Thank you so much. Much love. And thank you all so much again for tuning in. God bless.